Yeah, as an expert who deals with figures and facts, when you try to go into the books and, for instance, this particular statement, which you also alluded to, when they said that the data used in this report was presented, blah, 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 and they said due to time frame of the assignment, some of the data used could not be independently verified. What comes to mind when you get to see a statement like this?
Now, if I see a statement like that, I tend to want to be careful how I take the data I have seen. The reason being that, except you segment it to tell me, this following data, we have not been able to work on it. We have not been able to verify. But this, we have verified. I know where I'm focusing on. But when you submit a report that says some, you are leaving me, are you telling me now to start scrutinizing the report to now determine which you have verified and which you have not verified? The problem we have is that many of us hear things, we don't really get down to really get to know the facts. I saw this and I was like, if you give me figures that you cannot verify, then I want to be careful.
Are you saying that when reports are submitted to government, government doesn't verify or scrutinize?
Government is depending on you to give them a report.
So government does not scrutinize?
They are implementing what you have given.
Government does not scrutinize?
Maybe they will have their own team to maybe cross-check.
And they don't scrutinize?
They should scrutinize. They should scrutinize.
So why do you say
I don't work for government, but I'm saying.
No, you don't have to work for government.
There's a reliance level.
Know
can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? When you give me data, there's a reliance level I place on the data you give me.
That doesn't mean you will not scrutinize.
I said reliance level.
It doesn't mean you will not
Can I tell you
scrutinize
something?
the report.
Can I tell you something? If you give me a report, and I'm relying on your credibility to have done a good job, but you tell me I haven't done a good job, or I've not been able to look at these areas carefully, but I've looked at these areas. I am depending on what you have given me. Otherwise, I could have gone to do the job myself.
We're talking
they
about.
They were also expected to use consultants.
We're talking about
you
government.
Said they didn't use the consultants.
I need to see the working papers of those consultants.
So the way it is, the way it is now, let's see if we can make a headway in all of this. Are you saying that the report is work in progress, the way it is?
Definitely. I'm telling you, I'm standing on it. The report is work in progress, and that's what we should all understand. And that's what everybody's saying.
So
what equally said, if you go ahead to publish figures that we have not been able to verify, that we have not been able to confirm, that we have not been able to reconcile, we stand to be rubbished as a committee. Nobody's talking about that. That is the point of this gentleman.
So if the government says, if you say the work is the report is a work in progress,
yes.
Why should some members of government now say they cannot in any way work on the report?
Who said that? The government, you mean?
Didn't you hear the statement from the media spokesman that it was perfidious and it cannot be relied upon?
That is because this is already in the public domain. Everybody's already forming an opinion on the data that is contained herein, which does not have the disclaimer page.
Is it not just a pointer to the fact that this one report that many have said, that some have said is incomplete, is a work in progress, tallies with many other reports that have come before it
and put on the shelf?
No, is it not something that they pointed that there's a decay and something should be done? This report says there's decay in the system, the oil and gas industry. Now, the KPMG report before this one pointed out the same thing. And many other reports, the Farouk Lawan report, which we have not seen, says the same thing. So, is it not a pointer that something government indeed should...
Now, can I tell you what we've all been talking about, which I'll hit now? The whole purpose of this task force is there's a decay in the system. There is a decay in the system, which everybody knows. The task force was set up. Can we find a way to stem the decay in the system?
Do you think that the task force has been enmeshed in that same decay?
Emerged, lost focus, and then, just like I said some time ago, you build your house, you tell somebody to come and put up a fence so that thieves don't come in. Rather than put up the fence to protect your house because thieves are coming in, it abandons that and becomes a sentry and starts chasing the thieves that come. No, that's not the assignment.
So what do you expect us as a nation to do now?
What I expect us to do is there is a decay in the system. If you look at the revenue streams, we are losing a lot. Nobody's going to dispute that. This committee was expected to bring up modalities of how to check all this, put up world-class systems and all that, work with consultants to have processes that should stem the stealing of the oil revenue. That has not been done.
So
I've not read anywhere in the report that says this is the process we need to follow. This is what we need to do. These are things we need to put in place.
I thought there are recommendations in that report. You didn't get to that page.
Recommendations that what? They are throwing it back at the government. They are throwing it back at the government.
So, you're still talking from that letter. Did you read the recommendations?
Listen, I read the recommendations. Right. I'll give you an example. If I tell you, look, they are stealing your money, you have to wake up. That's not the recommendation. They are stealing your money, you have to wake up.
Is that what the recommendation says?
That's not the recommendation. Are you following me? So what like I said earlier, what we're looking at basically is the fact that the best thing the government could do to this committee, are you following me, is to get to, just like you say, there are recommendations. What are they worth? Do we require more recommendations? Because that's the issue. If there are recommendations, what are they worth? And that's why the issue of the interim report comes in. Okay. The issue of making an interim, that's where it comes in. If there are recommendations, what are they worth? Can we work on them? Oh, these recommendations are not foolproof yet. Can you do more? All right. And what I expected the committee members to do or to focus on is basically to find a way to stick to the terms of reference and ensure that we don't have all the disgrace we have in the sector.
Okay, so overall,
yes,
the government should not throw the report away, but it's a work in progress.
No committee member has said they should throw away the report. It's a work in progress, and that's what it should be.